So basically today's agenda is to discuss about exception handling in Java. So yesterday, last class, I shared one video with you guys, a YouTube video. So I hope all of you go through this video. Did you check with the video, guys? Okay, only one yes. I just want to know how many of you. Yeah.
Type ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല sir.
ഈ പറഞ്ഞോ?
Yes sir.
ചെക്ക് ചെയ്ത് എല്ലാവരും ആ വീഡിയോ നോക്കിയിരുന്നോ? ആ എക്സെപ്ഷൻ ഹാൻഡ്ലിങ്ങിന്റെ. ത്രോ ആൻഡ് ത്രോസ് മനസ്സിലായില്ല. So rest of them is clear, right? Try catch, finally block, try.
എക്സാമ്പിൾ വെച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ക്ലിയർ ആയില്ല.
എക്സാമ്പിൾ വെച്ചിട്ട് ക്ലിയർ ആയില്ല. Okay. Again, I will check. So അവർ ഡീറ്റെയിൽ പറയുന്നുണ്ടായില്ല. Okay. Anyway, I will explain. It's not a problem. So I will share my screen. Two kinds of exception are there. Okay, checked exception and unchecked exceptions. Generally, we can say that there are two broad categories. These are the two broad categories: checked and unchecked. So, what is the difference between checked exception and unchecked exception? Anyone can say if you do the answer. So checked exceptions are basically the exceptions that are checked during the compile time. Okay, these exceptions will be handled during the compile time itself. So we don't need to go for the. So when we compile, then we will get error instantly. So that are called as checked exceptions. Okay, so unchecked exceptions are called as runtime errors. Okay, it will not produce any errors during compilation time, but it will produce errors while during runtime. Okay, that are called as unchecked exceptions. Generally, we can say that one is compile time exception, another one is runtime exceptions. Okay, so checked exceptions can be handled by Java compiler itself. So once we compiling, we will get errors. Okay, unchecked exceptions. While compiling, we will not get any error, but while running, we will get error. Okay, so can you give me any example of runtime exception? Anyone can suggest one runtime exception example? So in the runtime exception എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആ സിസ്റ്റം റൺ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്ന എക്സെപ്ഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം അതിൻ്റെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ആൻസേഴ്സ്? എക്സാമ്പിൾ എന്താ? വളരെ സിമ്പിൾ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഉണ്ട്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് divided by 0. Yes, yeah. Runtime exceptions. One of the runtime exception is divisible, arithmetic exception, right? It will be catched only by during the runtime. Okay. So if you want, we can check internet. Exception example. So these are called as runtime exceptions, null pointer exception, illegal state. There are a lot of exceptions out there. So these are runtime exceptions. Okay. If you want to check unchecked exceptions. Sorry, unchecked means runtime, right? So checked exceptions. So one of the checked exception is class not found exception. It is a checked exception. Okay. When then is another checked exception is file not found exception. Okay. If you are reading a file, if that file is not existing in our system, then we will get a compile error. Okay. So that is example of checked exceptions. Okay. So there are list of unchecked and checked exceptions out there. Okay. So we can handle all kind of exceptions during the program. So I will show one example. This creator sample. So I hope all of you do understood about the try-catch scenario, right? So for if there is any exception occurs, if there is any chance of exception occurs, so we need to put that code inside try. Okay. So if there is any exception occurs during that code, what happens that it will catch under the catch code. Okay. So under the catch, we can mention if there will be multiple catch statement will be there. Okay, for catching different exceptions. For example, this kind of code can have can possibly occurs different kind of exception. There will be arithmetic exception, there will be a null point exception. For example, if a lot of exceptions will be there in this code, then we need to catch each and every exception, right? So that we need to use multiple catch statement like this. Okay, so can you see any exceptions in this program? So this is a sample program. Can you find any exception? So this is a exception demo program. Okay, so this is a demo exception demo class. So that class having a string name, we had predefined the value of string as Bill, and we provide a function void show name. So this just to show the name, right? So it will print the name as name is Bill, because we already defined the name as Bill here, right? So this is a simple class. Okay, so our main class, the class having main method is called as exception example. Okay, so under exception example we have a main method, so we are going to call this method. Can anyone see any exception here in this code? If there is any exception? Please check this code and find out if there is an exception already there. Anyone can say?
Null ആണോ sir?
Very good. Null pointer exception, right? So how this null pointer exception comes? Because agode para engana null pointer exception enna?
സാറിൽ നേരത്തെ null zeros ഒന്ന് അതായത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ null കാണിക്കും, അതായിരിക്കും എസിന്റെ വാല്യൂ null ഡിസ്പ്ലേ അങ്ങനെയാണ്.
ഇവിടെ എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ in this statement we have to define an object, right? So here there is no object. So actually the correct statement is exception demo s equal to no exception demo, right? So this is the correct statement. So what happens here, we just defined only a variable exception and there is no object here. Instead of object, we are only assigned object as null. So there is no object exists here, right? Okay, so what happens that we created an object here. So we create a reference variable here, but there is no object. Object is null. Okay, then we try to access this function. So it will produce a null pointer exception. Okay, that is null reference. This will be executed. Okay, so just try. Okay, this one. Java C. Okay, so here no, it is compiled, right? During compiling time, we don't know whether any exception occurs or not, right? Because this exception is unchecked exception. Null pointer is an example of an unchecked exception. Okay, so during compilation, we didn't get any error. Okay, so we go directly for running. Exception x1, right? We will get the exception as null reference exception, right? So what happens that we will get a response c equal to 2 here. That is how we get c equal to, so there is an arithmetic operation performed here, right? So we will get out till here, right? After that, during the runtime, the exception occurs here, right? So this will catch an exception, and no, it will execute this exception, because this is a kind of null pointer exception. So what under the null pointer exception, those code will print. Okay. So what happens if you are doing a divisible by 0 exception? So I just, instead of 2, I am using 0. Okay, so what will happen? Again, this will execute the exception, right? So here an exception will occur. So I will show you again. So this will be divisible by 0 exception, that is arithmetic exception. Okay, so I just compile again. So we will get denominator can't be 0. So it will catch under this arithmetic exception. So we will get out as denominator can't be 0. So what will happen is that whenever an exception catch, then we will stop executing a code, right? Then your runtime code will be stopped at that moment. Okay, so whatever under the catch will execute and your program will exit. Okay, so here in the initial case, you see that up to this we will up to this is executed, right, in the initial program, because instead of 0 we are using 2, right? Because up to this is okay. After that, an exception, null pointer exception occurs, so we will get out as null pointer exception, right? But here what happens, from this code itself we will get an exception. So it will break from this code and directly print this null pointer exception. Sorry, this arithmetical exception, right? Whatever, no, the denominator can't be 0, like this. Okay. So that is an example of try-catch scenario, how to handle an exception. So in order to handle the exception, we are using this try and catch, right? So if you are not using any try and catch, what happens? Your program is terminated instantly. We will not able to identify why the error, what's the error and all. So if there is in your code, if you need to type a code, right, you need to provide this try catch. Now, if you are doing any arithmetic operation, there will be a chance to occur, if there is any chance to occur divisible by 0. Okay, then you need to write all these arithmetical operations inside a try catch, and you need to catch this arithmetic exception. Okay, so if you're handling an array, if you're using an array, so there is another kind of exception, array out of bound exception, right? So if you are array having only 5 elements, if you are going to save a of 100 equal to 2, okay, then there is no element, like there is no index like 100 in actual memory, right? So it will cause an exception called array out of bound exception. Okay, that is an example. So there is another code also, finally means it will execute it will mandatorily execute, whatever inside your finally code will execute mandatorily. Okay, so if you are adding a finally block, right, so even though it will catch any exception, then also it will execute the final block. Okay, I just copy this here and I'm adding this finally here. Okay, so what happens that, just compare, we will get after the exception, we will get the contents inside the final block. Okay, so that is in the case we are using finally. So finally we are using because no, if any exception occurs, then we will need to do need to do some comments or need to do some information need to pass to the user, right? So this kind of thing happened. So you need to run again or try check again, right? If or after exception, you have to do some kind of codes, right, in order to show to user, then that code needs to be added inside the finally block. So finally block will execute even the exception is catched. Okay, so it will be printed mandatorily. Okay, so what happens if there is no exception here? For example, instead of this, I'm just put this 2, instead of this using this. Okay, so there will be no exception occurs, right? So both are cool, right? There is no divisible by 0 and there is no null point exception, right? So what will happens now? Everything is print. At last we will get this finally block also. So never mind whether the exception catch or not, this finally block will print mandatorily, it will print, it will show the output and it will execute, right? Here no exception is catched, right? Everything is purely performed, right, without an exception, even though we will get the output inside the finally block. So that is the difference, that is the thing. So it will execute anyways. So it will execute mandatory. Okay, so it is actually irrespective of whether it is any exception catch or not, we will get whatever the code inside the finally. So that is a try catch and finally. Okay, any queries? So I just want all of you to listen that video and find out yourself. That's why we started. So I hope you understood, right? Any queries, others? For this, any queries? So did you understood this throw and throws? Throw. So throw is just if you want to explicitly perform an arithmetic or any exception, then we can use throw. If you want, that is it is not by doing a runtime process. That we are simply throwing one exception. So that is called as throw. Okay. So it will simply throw. If you are using a throw keyword, it will simply throw one exception. So actually the case scenario is that the exception will occur after doing some kind of operation, right? If you are doing some kind of operation, if there is any issues like null pointer or division by 0 or array out of bound situation will occur, right? Because the program is dynamic. So if your code is not properly done, we will get some kind of exception. So that is not explicit, that is not predefined, that is based on what you know what you did for coding, right? So that is purely based on your dynamic aspect of code. But using throw means throw is simply explicitly throw produce some kind of exception. If you want to use throw, okay, it will produce exception. So that is throw. Any questions? എല്ലാവരും പോവാണല്ലോ, കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാം, അറ്റൻഡൻസ് എടുത്തിട്ട് പോകുന്ന എല്ലാവരും പോവാം. Any questions?
ഇല്ല സാർ. ഈ ത്രോസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന നമ്മള് ഇത് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണോ എക്സെപ്ഷൻ?
Throw different ആണ്. Basically throws is defined over a function, that is whether that method throws some exception. to identify that this method can perform some exception, or after executing this method, some kind of exception can be occur. So that is throws. Okay, if you are using throws, then no, we no need to use try catch. Okay, if the try catch is a sample of code, right? It will it will check only this code. The code, no, whatever the code we are writing inside a try block, right? It will check only that block, right? If you want to check entire method for an exception, then we can go for throws. Okay, so in that concept, okay, so that is specific to and that is defined along with the methods. So I will show you. I have one example throw. Exception demo. So this is example of a throw. Throw means simply no. Under try we are throwing one exception here. So this exception, no, we are not doing any kind of code here, but we are directly, if you want to throw a one exception, right, we can directly throw an instance like this. So this is we are throw an object. So we are throwing a exception object here. Okay, so as this is an exception, arithmetic exception object, so it will automatically catch under this block, catch block. So here this throw means it will explicitly throw one exception. It will throw one exception, that is throw. Okay. So for example, once we execute this one, simply it will throw one arithmetic exception, and it is a catched by here. Okay. So that is the usage of this throw keyword. So I will just see it. Right, we will get out as like this java.lang.arithmetic, because we are printing the stack error stack here. So this is the error stack output. Instead of that, you can you can add a code like that, arithmetic or exception occurs like that. You can add this kind of code also. So this is not divisible by 0. This is an arithmetic. So once can compare and get out as arithmetic exception. So this print stack trace means it will print actual errors. Okay, so the error is captured here as E object, then we will get what error the runtime thrown, right? Java runtime environment will throw some error, right? So that error can be captured, and if you want to show that error, then you can simply print this one, E dot print stack trace. So that is the error thrown by Java runtime environment. Okay, so if you want to see that error itself, you can see with this code. Or if you want to print some other thing, right, you can do this right? You can do some other code like this. Okay, so this is just for throwing, explicitly throwing one exception. Okay, so another one is throws. So throws is assigned over your fun method. Throws is so we can get one example. Here, this is an example, right? So here it's a class here at this check age. So I'll just copy this one. So let's keep it as my class, right? My class. So here, what we are adding is we are adding a throws keyword here. Okay, this throws keyword means this function checkage function, okay, will throw some exception. Okay, so this function will throw some exception instead of a specific set of code. This entire function will throw some exception. So it will check all entire codes inside that specific function. Okay, which exception this will throw? It will throw an arithmetic exception in that manner. Okay, so for example, instead of this, we can use divisible. This is we are simply throwing one exception here, right? With the help of this throw object. So instead of throw object, you can use that divisible by 0 scenario also. Okay, so 80 divisible by 0 like that also. Okay, so here simply we are throwing one exception, and that exception is printed while executing this, right? So we are passing the age as 15. As the age is less than 18, we will get an arithmetic exception like this. So this is saying that this entire, so here we are not using any try catch. Instead of that, we are using a throws. So saying that entire function throws some kind of exception. Okay, so just run this one. It is running without any problem. Just go for comparison. So we will get an exception like this. What is exception? So exception means we will get exception and we are passing some string here. It will print here, right? So we will get java.lang arithmetic exception, and we will get whatever string we are passing inside that object. No, we will print that here also. So it is not commonly occur. No, this is we are simply throwing one exception, right? So instead of that, for example, we are doing some operation x equal to, for example, int s equal to 8 divisible by 0. This is again arithmetic exception, right? So we will get a arithmetic expression divisible by 0. So here we are not throwing in anything, but instead of that, we are adding an exception. We are adding a statement that cause exception. Okay, so this statement will cause one exception. So what happens is that with the help of these throws and with the help of the name of exception, we are saying that for Java, we are going to say that Java runtime environment will check that already knew that no, this function checkage function must have some kind of code that can produce arithmetic exception. So it will find okay, this code, no, there is arithmetic exception will produce, so it will pop that exception as an output. So that is happening here. Okay, so what happens if you are not throwing any exceptions? Anyway, it will handle even though. So if we are not throwing also, it will handle, but throw means we are giving some information to the runtime environment, saying that no, it will, this method will have produce some kind of exception. Even though if we are not providing it, eventually the runtime environment will find out that, but it will take some time to make the combined runtime environment fast. We are using this one. Anyway, we have to do catch function in order to catch this complete environment also. Okay, so otherwise now if you want to do some kind of thing, For example, if you want to do some kind of remedy code, right, that remedy code must be done with the help of catch and finally statement, right? So this is very important, how to handle an exception. So how to throw an exception. If you want to throw a specific exception, now we are using this throw method, that is throw, defaultly throw an exception. And actually this throws method is using along with the function to inform the runtime environment that this method will throw some kind of exception, right? This method will throw arithmetic exception. So it will be more aware whether it will have producing any kind of exception also. So it is a signature, that is we are using it over the signature of the method to indicate that this method might throw one kind of exception. Okay, so what will mean to the, if there is any throws in this method, then actually we need to encapsulate entire code with try catch. Then if you are running this one, need to catch this like this. So that is correct way, right? So we do know that this method will produce some kind of exception. So when that exception occurs, we need to catch exception here. Okay, so as a best practice, we need to do this try catch scenario. So this is one of the examples given in the W3 course. So we can just go with some other examples also. Okay. So that is the case of exception handling. So exception handling can be done by using try catch finally block. And if you want to throw some kind of exception, we can use keyword throw. And if you want to check whether a function probably can throw exception while executing, we can add throws along with the definition of the function. Okay, so that's the thing. Also, if you can create your own exception class, if you have but in common situation, no need of creating our own exception, because majority exceptions can be handled already predefined, arithmetic array bound, like common exception already predefined. If you want, you can create your own exception by extending exception class. So that will be your specific. You can provide any kind of name, right? And you can do some, create your own kind of exception. But in practical situation, practical environment, no, you don't need to create your own kind of exception mostly, right? Because most of the things are predefined, and we can use these predefined classes itself. So that is in the case of exception handling. Any questions? So exception handling is very important in Java. Okay. So did you check other video, the thread concept of threads, how to create a thread, how to run a thread like that? Thread video നോക്കിയോ?
സാർ കണ്ടു.
അതിൽ നമുക്ക് ഫുള്ളും നോക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. നമുക്ക് ആ ത്രെഡ് എങ്ങനെ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, ത്രെഡ് എങ്ങനെ റൺ ചെയ്യാം. ത്രെഡ് രണ്ട് രീതിയിൽ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം അല്ലേ? ഒന്ന് ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ്സ് വെച്ചിട്ട് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, ഒന്ന് എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ഇൻഹെറിറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. അത് രണ്ടും നോക്കിയില്ല?
അബ്സ്ട്രാക്ട് ഇന്റർഫേസും ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലല്ലേ?
അതെ, സെയിം. അതായത് വൺ ഈസ് യൂസിങ് ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ്സ് റണ്ണബിൾ. സോ റണ്ണബിൾ ഈസ് എൻ ഇന്റർഫേസ്. So you need to implement that runnable. Other is extend thread, അല്ലേ? Thread class നമ്മൾ extend inherit ചെയ്ത് ചെയ്യാം. So both are same manner. No, we can use any kind of method to follow, right? So എപ്പോഴാണ് ത്രെഡ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം? ത്രെഡ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് എന്താ സംഭവിക്കുക? റൺ കോഡ്, റൈറ്റ്? റൺ എന്ന ഫംഗ്ഷനിൽ എന്താണോ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത് അത് റൺ ചെയ്യും, right? So is there is any questions relating to thread? No, just we only concentrate about how to create threads. There are two ways we can create threads. One is extending a thread class. So threads can be created with the help of extension, right? With the help of inheritance, right? extends thread class. Okay, there is a class called thread. So in that manner also we can create it. And another one is we can implement one interface. Implement runnable interface. So we just only want to know different ways to create a thread and how we are going to start a thread, on where we're going to write the code that is running by that specific thread. Okay, so we need to write the code inside this run method, right? Then while we start the function, so while we call the start method, whatever we write inside the run method will automatically execute, right? So that is a thread life cycle is there. We need to follow that thread life cycle. So these are the thread okay, life cycle of thread, right? So we need to start, then it will run, stop, right? Then there are different methods to sleep your thread, that is sleep, resume, suspend, wait, right? So can call this method so that so if you are calling a sleep method, that thread will sleep for this much of millisecond. If you sleep of 1000 minutes, so that thread will sleep this much of second. Only now after then after this much of second only that thread resume the operation. So that is a life cycle kind of scenario happen. Okay, so you need to go with this life cycle scenario. I think this is good. So you can create like that. You need to start, run. Then while running, if you want to stop waiting, then it is we can use sleep or wait. So this will be waiting. Then after running, right, when you can click stop function, then the thread will be dead. So these are the simple example of thread life cycle. So just go through this life cycle. Okay. So for start, run, sleep, and stop. Okay, these are the functions that can be used to control the thread once you create a thread. Okay. So there are one thread example. So this is a simple example with the help of extends keyword. So thread example extends thread, right? Then we need to add the run method. So this is the thing. So while we create a thread, this code will execute, right? So under this run method, we are simply adding the thread is running, right? Under the main, we are creating a thread and we are calling the thread to.start. So what happens is that it will run this code thread and it will stop because the execution will complete here, right? So once running, it will automatically call the stop function and the thread will automatically terminate. Okay, so this is a simple example. So another one is through implements runnable. Then we need to complete this run method. Same thing, right? Then we can create object. Same method, different way. One is through interface and another one through inheritance. Okay. So it is very easy for creating and running a thread. Okay. Any question? Is there any questions regarding that? ത്രെഡിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഉണ്ടോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക്? ജസ്റ്റ് ഞാനൊരു സിമ്പിൾ explanation പറഞ്ഞോളൂ. If you have any queries, you can ask. Okay. Okay. If all code we can stop as of now, then we can. I hope all of you come directly to NSJ Monday onwards. Then we can discuss. We can start class as offline. If all of you, if majority of you are coming directly, right? So we can start class directly from NSJ. Okay. So next session is we are going to handle the Java frames AWT Java, AWT class, Java Swing class. So how to create a frame in Java, how to create buttons like that. Okay, so that is a thing. Then after that we have applet, how to create an applet in Java. So applets and all are currently not using anyway, but it is in syllabus, so we just simply cover. Okay, so currently no, we are not in any programming, actually the applet class and all deprecated. Currently Java not supporting this applet class. So if you are using new version of Java, you can't use this applet class. Okay, so in case of Java, the pending topics are applet, Java frames, that is in AWT, okay, and Java Swing. So we need to discuss all these things. Okay, so we will continue on Monday. I hope all of you come directly to NSJ. Okay, take care, bye.